Good day. Yet again, the Ministry of Finance and Treasury has surprised us. The once stable department, we recall the days of Trevor Manuel and then years of Mr. Gordon, and ever since then, a procession of new finance ministers. So we had Mr. Gordon replaced by Mr. Nene. Then, of course, he was unceremoniously fired and replaced for a few hours by Des van Rooyen. That didn't last very long. Back came Mr. Gordon. Then, of course, he was fired last March and replaced by Mr. Gigaba. That lasted barely a year, and then more recently, of course, we had Mr. Nene. And of course, Mr. Nene has had experience in the job, well respected, so it came as a rather major shock to discover that he too had been tainted by the Gupta brothers. I think it's only fair to say that he did a good job, Mr. Nene. He had integrity, he had respect. And as sad as it might be, the fact that he was willing to accept his faults, take responsibility, and offer his resignation might actually mean a great deal for the sentiment regarding this country. Even more exciting is his replacement, Mr. Tito Mboweni, a well-known person in our country, well-known in politics, well-known in the financial world, and indeed highly respected by the markets. We all know that Mr. Mboweni spent 9 years as governor of the Reserve Bank. Prior to that, he was a Minister of Labour. After leaving the Reserve Bank, we did a pretty good job by all accounts, instilling a sense of monetary discipline. He then took up various posts in the world of business. So his credentials are well known, and certainly in the short term, one would expect that his appointment will be met favorably by the markets. In fact, we already saw within minutes of the announcement that the rand at least stabilized and might even show some signs of strengthening. Of course, in terms of the so what of this decision, we are probably more concerned about the long-term implications. And with the best will in the world, Mr. Mboweni, for that matter any other potentially new finance minister, will not be able to turn around this economy within days, weeks, or even months. He has inherited a very difficult situation, a situation where government debt is dangerously high, a situation where, as we saw in the last budget, there's virtually no scope for additional government spending to stimulate the economy, and a situation where, if anything, taxes have to be raised to try to help balance the books. Nothing has changed. In 2 weeks' time, he will read the medium-term budget statement. And within days of that, we'll start seeing the credit rating agencies making their next decision regarding our credit rating. So one is hoping, and let us assume that this hope will be justified, that at the very minimum we will not get a further credit downgrading. And hopefully Mr. Mboweni's status in this and the esteem in which he is held will play a major role. Looking beyond that, well, the economy is not going to be all that much healthier in the years that lie ahead. There won't be much scope for additional government spending to stimulate the economy. So Mr. Mboweni has inherited an economy in trouble and a department which needs to restore its credibility and its faith, and the faith that people have in its capacity. If it's all other things being equal, I have no doubt Mr. Mboweni will succeed in that. But he is obviously one of many role players and decision makers in this regard. The real challenge to him is putting across a credible, accepted way of turning around this economy. Better economic growth, more employment opportunities, at the same time not abandoning fiscal discipline. Once again, his credentials, his experience stand us in good stead. He's fairly young, not 60 yet, a world of experience in politics, business, running government departments, running the Reserve Bank. on reflection, this unfortunate event might turn out to be one of the better things happening in the last few months or even years in this country.